these temporary jobs. And quite frankly, I come from the construction industry 47 years. I started in construction in 65. I never thought of my job back then as being a temporary job. That was my way of life and the people I work with. So I find it almost a demeaning, demoralizing comment when people make that statement that these are just temporary jobs. I disagree with that. So having vented a little bit on that, I want you to know I'm just one of two engineers in Congress, and I concur that there is global warming and there's climate change. The issue, however, I think still is to be debated. Is it man-made or is it natural, cyclical? I'm not convinced that I'm going to join the chorus of those that are trying to build a consensus around man-made. And because of that, I'm troubled by the fact that we're holding back because the administration believes it's man-made. He's holding back 20,000 jobs in this market. 1,000 more jobs would occur afterwards doing maintenance and taking care of the line. I can remember the testimony of the last 2+ years of how many things we've talked about, how many more jobs, all because we're focused on an ideology. And what I can't, so I'm asking Mr. Swift and Dr. Jacquard, when I've talked with climatologists, they often refer to, in trying to address this issue, they say, go back to the Bering Strait. And I'd like to hear from your perspective. Bering Strait 25,000 years ago, the ocean levels dropped 150 feet, 50-some meters. We weren't using the Keystone Pipeline. We weren't driving too many SUVs, and we weren't creating electricity with coal. But there was a natural cyclical change in the globe that caused the temperatures to be at such level that the water levels dropped all in the oceans all across the world. Can you enlighten me or tell me where the paleoclimatologists are wrong on that? That the
Yes.
waters dropped so that the land mass became exposed and people from Asia came over and populated North America?
Yes, sorry.
Go ahead, please.
I feel that I would be arrogant to pick and choose among the science that I wanted to believe that was convenient for me and that was inconvenient for me. So when I take the body of climate science, which I read very carefully, it will tell you that climate has changed over long time periods in the past and sometimes accelerated. Okay. And the climate science also says we are making something happen very quickly, that we're causing it. And we're acidifying the oceans as well. So I don't know what you pick or choose from what the climate scientists are telling you. I've read their reports. I interact with leading scholars in the world who are very honest people who don't have any particular agenda, and they are saying, climate, we are causing the change. We can do something about it.
I would concede that there are people that agree with you, but there's a document floating around right now, 32,000 scientists that disagree with you on that. So I'm still torn over it because here we're still arguing over this. Science has not been determined. The conclusion is not determined yet, but yet we're holding up 20,000 jobs in America where people want to go to work. That's their livelihood, and we're holding up because we got an ideological base, a disagreement. I'm troubled with that. I really am. Yes, I can talk about the Bering Strait. We can talk about the medieval warming period. What caused that? I don't think there were too many SUVs. I don't think we were burning much coal there or gas or oil to create electricity, but yet we had the globe heated up, Earth heated up. I'm somewhat more in that field. I'm leaning that way more. Is this natural, cyclical issue? And could man be contributing? Of course we could be. I agree with you, we could be. But are we the one causing it? And what are the ramifications of it? There's too many disagreements on that. I'm hoping sometime in this balance of this year that we will have some opportunities to discuss global warming more. But in the meantime, why are we costing 20,000 jobs to people that could be working?
So we create jobs as we reduce carbon pollution, just as we did as we reduced acid pollution and urban smog and so on. So I'm sorry, I've seen so much evidence I can't buy that we can't create jobs while reducing carbon pollution and maybe even use more fossil fuels while doing it.
Are you the school of Lisa Jackson that said that we create, one job for every $1 million in EPA standards, making the more rigid the standard is, that we're going to create a job in that, and so therefore, or 1.5 jobs for every $1 million spent on enforcement.
Just talking about historical
analysis. Are you
analysis.
a disciple of that school?
I haven't read that. I'm talking about historical analysis that I've been involved in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my time's over.
Gentleman's time has expired. This time I recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Engel, for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.